Oh shit. Man, it's already out. So I had my boys over, right? We were watching the Oscars and shit. I had just gotten home, but I didn't get home till... It started at 5, right? It started at 5 p.m. We didn't get home until like 6 because it was my brother's birthday, and we didn't go to dinner until like 4, and we went to Ruby's, and like
service was kind of slow.
But then we got back and it was already like 6, so missed like the first half. Missed Brad Pitt winning Best Supporting Actor, but that's okay because I love Brad Pitt. I love him so much, and I'm glad he won that actually. So I'm okay with that. Anyways, one of my friends lives out in Irvine, and so he had to drive back. And then, you know, we went to go out and eat, but I wasn't really that hungry because I had just had dinner like a few hours before. So I just went to Starbucks and got myself a, what is this? Grande iced white chocolate mocha with almond milk, of course, because, you know, shout out to all my lactate boys out there. The Oscars just happened a couple hours ago, and for once, I am actually happy with the results. I thought it was fantastic that Brad won Best Supporting Actor, like how I mentioned before. There were a few things that I was really excited and happy about, and then there were a few low moments that kind of pissed me off and kind of made me confused on why the Oscars thought that this would have been the correct choice. First of all, extremely happy that Parasite won. I was kind of counting on like either Parasite or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I love Tarantino. I even wore my Kill Bill shirt, and I was super excited that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was going to win something, which I guess it technically did because Brad won, but I was really pulling for either Once Upon, well, I'll be damned, or for Parasite because I think Bong Joon Ho is a fantastic director. He followed in the footsteps of Martin Scorsese, who is also an extremely talented director as well and writer. Surprisingly, out of the blue, what do you know? The Academy chose an actual good pick. First of all, like, let me just say how important this is. Okay, the really interesting thing about Bong Joon Ho is that, just like a bunch of other directors, a lot of his movies are written about himself, you know, and about his life experiences and about events and emotions that he's experienced throughout his life. What makes Bong Joon Ho separate from the rest is the way that he is able to portray that so subtly in all of his movies, specifically Parasite, because Parasite is really the forefront. It is really composed to be sort of the ultimate class struggle metaphor. It's basically about this family that is of the lower class in South Korea, and they are trying to find jobs to pay so that they can become richer, live in a nicer area, etc. What ends up happening is that they all, one of the daughters decides to get a job, or one of the kids decides to get a job working for this very wealthy, higher up person in South Korea who is very rich, and so she gets paid like a decent amount of money. Basically, like the family, eventually down the road, the family disguises themselves to seem like they aren't related to each other at all, and so they, at some point, they all end up working for the richer family, and they all end up making like a ton of money. It kind of gets crazy from there, as there's like a lot of conflict and a lot of sneaking around and stuff, and a lot of twists and turns that are very interesting and portrayed and executed very well throughout the film. And the whole time, it just seems like a very basic story and whatnot. But one of the amazing things is that it is not an English movie. It is a South Korean movie. All of the dialogue, for like 99% of it, is in Korean. And so there's subtitles for like the whole thing. And that's really the amazing thing, is that it's the only film from South Korea to ever win an Oscar. And on top of that, it's Best Picture win too. You know, and then Bong Joon Ho also, of course, winning Best Director as well, which I think is also very deserved. It's just kind of amazing that, you know, we're at this point where, you know, we're having we're starting to have films from different areas of the world, different countries, from different languages, and from different backgrounds of society being able to incorporate into the sort of, all-time American award show for film. And I think that's honestly truly amazing. And the way that the way that Bong Joon Ho does it, he incorporates himself into the story, but he does it in a way that is very subtle and is spread throughout the undertones, basically. And that really shows in Parasite, and that also shows heavily in one of my other favorite movies of him, that he did, called Snowpiercer with Chris Evans. That film, however, is all in English. I guess it's technically like an action sci-fi drama kind of thing, But the way that it's done is very interesting and very complex. A lot of critics didn't really like it because they said that it wasn't original. But even though it was, because it's a Bong Joon Ho movie, and he incorporates class struggle from his own life into the format of his movies usually. A lot of people thought that it wasn't really that original, but there was a lot of key elements in it that if you really thought about it, you would think that like, this is a metaphor for how society reacts to money and like, this way and whatnot. And there's a lot of similes and metaphors throughout the whole film that parallel society now and in real life. It really gives an interesting perspective. Another person that I was happy about that one was definitely Joaquin Phoenix. I love Joker a lot. I just don't think that out of all of the movies that were nominated, I think really the only one that Joker really deserved was the best actor for Joaquin Phoenix. I really think that was the only one that really deserved it. Joker is a fantastic movie, but I don't think it's as good as like, The Irishman or Once Upon or Parasite, really. I just think that it kind of lacks in the way that it's executed. I think that sort of lacks compared to the way that Once Upon and Irishman and Parasite and how they're executed and how they're written. No disrespect to Todd Phillips or anybody like that, but that's just my opinion. I still love Joker, and I think Joaquin did a phenomenal job. One of the best performances that I had seen in a really long time, especially to play such an infamous character as the Joker. There's a lot of expectation that was set forth by Heath Ledger. Rest in peace, Heath. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a fantastic job portraying the character in his own way, while also taking from characteristics that Heath Ledger portrayed in the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that was a really interesting take on the character, and it was a very well done character study. The thing that upsetted me was how Renee Zellweger, I think it's Zellweger. But anyways, I was a little confused on the Best Actress category because Cynthia Erivo and Renee Zellweger, they both got nominated. Their movies weren't even critically acclaimed, did not rate them well at all. Neither of those two movies did well in the box office. Harriet and Judy, neither of them did well at the box office, but yet they still got nominated somehow. I don't really understand how, but that's just me. In my personal opinion, I think Scarlett Johansson should have won that for Marriage Story. Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story is just absolutely fantastic. She's a fantastic actress in general. She is just absolutely incredible with all of her performances. A lot of people probably know her as Black Widow from the Marvel movies. She was fantastic in Marriage Story. She was fantastic in Under the Skin. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. It's really fucking weird, but it is an incredible film. It's by A24, which is, if any film nerd knows about A24, then you should probably go see it because it's an A24 film, and A24 films are amazing, so highly recommend it. And yes, I think I love her in pretty much almost anything that she's in. She just does a fantastic job with all of her performances. She really gives it her all. In Marriage Story, a lot of her acting skills are really put to the test. There's a lot of emotion and confliction and a lot of confrontation for throughout the whole film, and it is just absolutely incredible to see it being portrayed. Adam Driver does a fantastic job as well, and honestly, I would have loved to see him win Best Actor as well. I really think Marriage Story kind of got snubbed. Honestly, it didn't win. The only thing that it won was for Laura Dern's Best Supporting Actress role, you know, which is fine. Like, I think she did a fantastic job with that. It would have just been nice to see either Scarlett or Adam win, but, you know, can't always have everything. I also did think that Billie Eilish and Phineas, when they did the Memoriam song, they did Yesterday by the Beatles, which I know Billie really likes the Beatles and stuff. I was gonna mention like the whole controversy about what she said about hip-hop and the rap industry in general, you know, but whatever, like, who really cares? It's Billie Eilish, like, no one's really gonna care. But I thought the way that they incorporated her Oscar performance as being in the Memoriam section, you know, with Phineas playing the piano and then Billie singing Yesterday, I thought that was really cute. I thought that was really sweet and genuine.
Low-key, probably the best Billie Eilish song.
But yeah, I thought that was really cute. I thought that was really cool. Honestly, I don't really see why else she would have been there anyways, but I like how they incorporated her into the show. I thought that was really smart by the Oscars, because I mean, you know, who of like Billie Eilish's like true fans, all of like the 14 to 15-year-olds are really gonna sit down and watch the Oscars? But then she was there, so they're like,
oh, who are all these old people in the Memoriam, you know? Like, I have no idea who any of these people are, and they probably won't for forever, but, you know, whatever.
I thought Taika Waititi winning Best Adapted Screenplay was very interesting for Jojo Rabbit. I think I missed that part of the show because I was still at dinner, but I did read about it, so I just read about it now. I think that was a very interesting pick. Was not expecting that out of like The Irishman, even Little Women. I love Greta Gerwig. And I love her film Lady Bird. I think she did a fantastic job with that film. And I love Lady Bird a lot. And even Todd Phillips and Scott Silver and Joker. I thought maybe even they could have won. I don't think the Joker screenplay was better than The Irishman. I think Jojo Rabbit was a very interesting choice. I'm kind of mad about it. You know, I like Jojo Rabbit. I don't really think it really deserved a lot of the Oscar nominations that it got. But it was at all of the film festivals, and it was promoted super highly. And I love Taika Waititi, so I'm okay with it. Best Original Screenplay, obviously Bong Joon Ho, like, just keeps on fucking winning. Animated Feature, Toy Story 4, whatever. Sure, whatever, I don't really care. Overall, I was really satisfied, honestly, this year with the Oscars. I thought that Parasite was, like, a brilliant choice. And I really think a lot of people are really going to be branching out into that area of film now, you know. It's just incredible that Bong Joon Ho could win something like Best Picture for a South Korean film, and against somebody like a Scorsese, like a Tarantino, like a Sam Mendes, you know, like a James Mangold. Like, he beat all of them, and he looked up to Scorsese for years, and he studied Scorsese, and now here we are, and he won. You know, that's just I honestly think that's incredible, and I'm super happy for Bong Joon Ho. Other than that, yeah, those are just my thoughts on the Oscars and the winners. I'm still doing a lot of my other review videos for a lot of the music that came out this weekend, so I'm going to be trying to put that out as quickly as I can. Hopefully by like Wednesday. My goal is Wednesday. Hopefully I should be able to get it done. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos to come this week. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
From me a river, left me stay with him, live with your decision, no. Darling, Lord knows I done gave you all.